Hi, everyone. I'm the director for our New Zealand NGO Common Knowledge Trust, and I've been putting out a series on the COVID 19 and about self help or self health. And we're going to continue doing this. And at the same time, because our New Zealand NGO Common Knowledge houses all of the Birthing Better skills, we're going to be putting on a 7-day live series on Facebook of the skills that hundreds of mothers and fathers developed in the early 1970s, and we'll do that on YouTube as well. On Facebook, we'll run the skills going one way, and on YouTube, we'll run the skills going backward, because the skills involve, in some ways, a parallel to what's going on now. So, with the COVID 19, what we're being told is how to prevent this. Now, Dr. Dave Price's video is dealing with the details of that. And that's sort of like what families developed with the Birthing Better skills, the details of how to prepare their body for birth. Birth is different in some ways because it's a one off experience you can't repeat. COVID, hopefully, is a one off experience you can't repeat. However, 100% of pregnant women will give birth without fail, one way or another, whereas not 100% of us are going to get COVID. So, Dr. Dave's brilliant talk, he's doing a live Zoom talk, and he goes into details about how to really both prevent getting sick and how you deal with this in your home. He's working in the middle of the epidemic, so listen to him. And particularly at the beginning, when he begins to feel very emotional, and he says when he does this, I'm not emotional because I'm afraid. I'm emotional because of hope, because we now know more. And when we know more, we do better. And this is why our NGO Common Knowledge Trust, I mean, think of why we chose that name, is about doing better. It's the every little bit helps. And the details are in the details, without a doubt, whether it's about preventing COVID 19 or whether it is preparing for the birth of your baby and then doing the activity of birthing your baby. So, the activity of birthing your baby is like having the activity of being sick with COVID. So, in the description, we also have the common knowledge skills to use. Things like if you don't feel well, start gargling 3 to 5 times a day. You can choose what you gargle with, do it with warm water. But as Dr. Dave says in his video, we know that this virus accumulates in the back of the nose and the mouth. And doctors, dentists, and nurses for years have been telling us, please gargle with salt water if you have a virus, a bacteria, or have had dental work done, or chemotherapy. So these things parallel. It's the preparation or the prevention about this, or with pregnancy, it's the preparation to do this activity. And then when you have this COVID 19 or you doing the activity of giving birth, you want to have skills. And Dr. Dave talks about those skills of prevention in a very detailed, reassuring way if COVID 19 is in your home. And what our NGO does is to talk about what the skills we use to birth our baby, because 100% of us are going to do that activity, and no one else can do it for us. And no one else can be sick with COVID 19 but us. So, in the description, we give you the link to Dr. Dave's talk. I listened to it last night. It was sent to me by my son in law. He and his family, my daughter, they have 2 wee kids. But Dr. Dave's talk is incredibly reassuring. Everyone should listen to it. There is nothing like people on the front line who tell you what it's really like. and his talk is absolutely brilliant. It's very informal, but it's very, very good. Below that are the 10 things that we have found that have really helped people feel that they're doing the every little bit helps as well if they don't feel well. Do we know whether any of these things work? We cannot do a double blind study where some people go through these things and some people don't. It is how we feel. And I've had this virus for the past 11 days, and I have followed these guidelines that our trust has put up because I have felt better doing them. And I live alone, so I don't have to follow the same precautions that Dr. Dave talks about if you're living with other people. But I am in that high risk category. So I took care of myself. And taking care of myself means that I feel more empowered as a person. And that's important for you to feel as well. Right now, the official message is try to prevent it, and Dr. Dave talks about that, but he goes into detail if this is in your home. And then if you get sick, basically it's stay home, call your doctor, do nothing. And to me, as the director of an NGO called Common Knowledge that promotes common sense, doing nothing is just not option A, B, C, or D because we don't feel well. Or if we give birth, we don't want birth to just happen to us. These are activities that we are doing. I am in day 11 of this activity that I am doing. And when I gave birth, I was doing that activity. Thankfully, birth is shorter than this. Do we have any control over it? We cope, manage, deal with, work through, handle, stay on top of, and feel in control when we have things we can do. And those fall under every little bit helps. No one can do the birth for us. We can't stop for lunch. We can't do it the next day. No one can do this virus for us. We are doing it alone, even whether we live alone or live with other people. So pass this on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will be there on our Birthing Better One YouTube. And the online courses will be a scheduled 7-day free online skills course through Facebook, and I'll do one on YouTube as well. We'll schedule them in advance, and we're going to go over the detailed skills of birthing better because what's happened now in birth at the moment. When I gave birth in the United States in 1970, there was a very high societal expectation that all of us learn skills. Those were the first childbirth preparation classes, Lamaze and Bradley. So my husband and I used skills together, and fathers were now being permitted in. So he had birth coaching skills, and I had birthing skills, and we worked together. The skills weren't great, but they were something. Every little bit helps. But by the 1980s, that new wave of natural birth advocates had actively dismissed skills and said, oh, women know how to birth instinctively. This has always been nonsense. Women birth because they're pregnant. They don't know how anymore. You know how to be a good lover, or you know what foods are safe to eat just because you're hungry. We spend years taking things out of our kids' mouths. So we need more little things matter skills during this time. We need it about health for ourselves and our family, and we need it about birth because now women are being told you're going to birth alone again. We're always birthing alone, but now we don't necessarily have a birth coach with us, whether it's our partner, other, or a doula. We have to have skills. So Common Knowledge Trust is combining these two things because this is what's happening now. And we want you to share these links with other people. If you believe that you have to wait until the medical profession proves anything about this virus, you're going to wait a long time. Same way, if we wait until the medical profession proves whether skills achieve the three narrow goals natural birth advocates wanted, a natural birth, pain-free labor with no medical intervention, we're going to wait a really long time. That's never going to be proven. But what is proven is that as humans, we love and thrive on being skilled to do any activity. And so Dr. Dave's talk is about an element of detailed skills. And the list below is an element of detailed skills. They're just slightly different and they overlap and are used together. So take care of yourself. Become highly skilled in whatever way you do because you want to prevent this. And then if you get sick or a loved one gets sick, you want them to take care of themselves because at the present time, there's nothing the medical profession can do. And we want to try to reduce the viral load. That's the goal. That's what called flattening the curve is reducing the viral load so that we are not overwhelming our healthcare system. We can do it within our own sphere of influence, ourselves and those around us. So thanks for listening and take care. Bye bye.